This is Nightly News.
Reporting from Ellington High School, I'm Gabby Stein.
And I'm Myra Anderson. And this is the Nightly News. Today's segment focuses on all the noteworthy events that took place during the 2014-2015 school year.
From upcoming sports events to the renovations at Crystal Lake School to the Volunteer Ambulance Corps, this is what's happening in our neck of the woods.
Now to Spencer Plourd for behind-the-scenes look at the school's drama club.
Now, this may just seem like an ordinary theater, but the Gordon C. Getchell Auditorium is home to the opening night players, a group of students with incredible passion, immense dedication, and most importantly, an endless love for the theater. Here's a behind-the-scenes look at their award-winning play, Deadbeats.
Sammy, can you read that tag?
Yeah. Character, Wizard of Oz.
And who did you play?
The Mayor of Munchkinland.
Don't throw it on the floor.
People notice an outstanding play, but what tends to go unnoticed is the amount of work that goes into a successful show. Putting on a play consists of a great deal of time, effort, hard work, and energy. The students of Ellington High School involved in the opening night players, otherwise known as OKP, have given some insight into what goes on behind the scenes.
The whole point of the show is to talk about your heart. So the way we did the costumes is that every character has a little bit of red in them.
Ashley Kuhn, a senior and the head of costume design for OKP, says that more work goes on behind the scenes than many people realize.
For costumes, we're the people who will stay after school longer than the actors. We'll sit here when it's dark outside and we'll be sewing constantly. A little thing that the people probably don't know is that most of our costumes, we hand sew everything.
OKP usually spends 2 to 3 hours every day rehearsing the play and working on building the set. It could take anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks until a typical play comes to fruition.
And then what I'm going to end up doing tonight is we're going to open the house relatively early. I'm going to ask everybody to take their positions.
William Pernetta, Ellington High School's drama teacher, has been writing and directing plays for much of his career. However, this was the first time one of his own plays was being performed by OKP.
And the fun thing is it's a lot of work, but then there's a lot of laughter that comes from it, which is the fun part.
Their newest play, Deadbeats, is no exception. Written by Pernetta along with the OKP cast, there was certainly no time for slacking.
For Tech Week, it's hectic. I'm here till 6 every day, and it's 3 hours of complete chaos.
Described by the writers as an allegory, Deadbeats follows a group of classmates as they deal with various high school issues such as fitting in and the struggle to find their true identity.
Get everything I wanted, except I wasn't happy. How could I be happy when I spent every waking moment trying to fit in?
Aside from the normal high school issues, Deadbeats is a play involving zombies, laughter, and horror.
In the rough world of high school where a lot of people are always trying to be popular or fit in, it's really great to just do your own stuff. I think you should pursue whatever you want to do to make you happy, but don't do something because you think it'll get you somewhere if it's not part of who you are.
Each member of OKP's hard work is needed in order to form the end result. Whether it's being a part of house and taking care of tickets and decorations, spending hours of trial and error with makeup, memorizing lines until it consumes their thoughts, or hand sewing each costume for the actors and actresses to wear, every job matters. It's the little things that make up the big things. When the audience cleared out and the cast was left to reflect about the performance, the students felt overjoyed by the audience's reaction to their show.
An audience is the other half of a performance for theater. Because, we have to react off the audience reacts off of us, and I think it went better than I thought, though, as we go.
The audience consisted of people from all ages, and it seemed no matter the age, everyone enjoyed the performance.
I thought it had a really good message. I was really impressed, and I thought the stage direction was great, and the makeup was way better than I expected.
OKP proves to the audience that they are a talented group, and after each successful show, they are reminded why they love theater and performing.
It's the best feeling in the world. It's like winning a championship game, but every time you do it, you win.
At the Connecticut Drama Association Festival this past March, the opening night players walked away with a slew of awards, including the People's Choice Award and the Adjudicators Award. Back to you guys.
And now, here's Macy Luganbuehl and Maddie Unterstein with a wrap-up of EHS's fall and winter sports.
Hi, I'm Maddie with the EHS Nightly News Sports Report. This year has been a championship-filled year for the Ellington Knights. In the fall, the Knights ended the season with 2 state titles between boys soccer and boys cross country. However, these 2 teams were not the only teams that were successful. Our football team finished second in their division with a record of 8-1. Girls soccer received a 10th place ranking in Class M. Volleyball's efforts propelled them to an 11th place finish in the regular season to get them into the state tournament, where they were unable to steal a victory. The girls' cross-country team placed 8th in the state tournament, and last but not least, our swimming team nabbed an 11th place finish in the state tournament. Over to you, Macy. The Knights continued their winning ways throughout the winter. The boys' indoor track team was able to capture an NCCC title. The girls were able to snag a second-place finish. Both basketball teams were able to qualify for the state tournament, but lost in the first round. And lastly, the boys' hockey team made it to the States and won the first tournament game before getting eliminated in the second round. Back to you guys in the studio.
From the competitive arena, we switch gears to a place of safety and acceptance. During United Week, the EHS student body came together and learned the importance of looking at people from new perspectives. Here is Kelly Gorman with more on that story.
Ellington High School staff and students celebrated their differences during a week-long event dubbed United Week, beginning on February 23rd through February 27th, with the goal of creating a more accepting and united student body.
I think the expectations were just to get some people together, bring some awareness to the building, and give kids an opportunity to see another perspective. And I think the reality is it's exactly what happened.
The week began with a school-wide assembly where senior Nick Toper did an upside-down speed painting that conveyed a poignant message.
I'm sure the music gave it away and you knew that I was going to turn it around, but the message is still the same. So while you were watching, you had to kind of look at it from different angles to try and figure out what I was painting. And that's what this week is all about. We want to challenge you to look at all of our peers from different perspectives and try to get a better understanding of each other.
Throughout the week, students supported the effort to embrace the things that make us different from others.
This is, the United Week. We heard about it. We saw the assembly at the beginning of the week, so it helped guide students in the correct path that they should go.
The EHS Unified Basketball team sold purple t-shirts throughout the week, building support for the pep rally that would follow at the end of the week.
I saw different sides of people that I had never seen before. Like, people are connected and being nice with others. That was awesome.
Welcome to today's Unified game. The Unified Knights will be taking on the Varsity Knights.
On Friday, EHS students came together to watch the Unified Basketball team and the boys and girls varsity basketball teams for a Purple Out pep rally. Energy and spirit was encouraged by the cheerleading team, the dance team, and by the debut of the new EHS pep band.
It was very exciting to have the whole school supporting us, and my favorite player made a basket, so that was great.
Yeah, I think both teams had fun. I think our varsity girls and boys had fun, and the unified kids seemed to love it.
Overall, students and faculty found the week successful in looking at people from new perspectives and creating a more united student body.
Ellington High School's senior-junior prom is right around the corner, and students across the school are scrambling to finalize their plans. With expenses reaching well into the hundreds, prom is becoming quite the hassle. Here's Shannon Jones with the story.
Prom is very different for girls and boys. Getting ready for a girl can take months and cost a few $100s, but for boys it is quick and not nearly as expensive. Girls must pay for their hair, makeup, shoes, dress, accessories, flowers, transportation, and even their ticket if their date does not purchase it. Boys only have to pay for their tux, transportation, and their ticket plus their date's ticket if they choose to buy it. When asked how much girls spend on their dress, their answers vary from a surprisingly $150 all the way to $500.
We were able to interview a lot of students, and their answers to the amount of how much they paid varied. Girls can spend from $80 to $700 on just their dress alone. With the added expenses of transportation, hair and makeup, accessories, and often their ticket, the total expense can increase by at least $300. Boys spend around $130 on their tux, including shoes, and only have to pay for transportation, their ticket, and possibly their date's ticket. This means boys typically spend a maximum of $300 on prom. No matter the gender, prom can become an expensive event. However, it is one of those high school experiences that no one should miss out on. With technology becoming more integrated in our daily lives, the use of cell phones and personal devices in school has begun to raise controversy in our halls. Here is Spencer Plord again with the story.
As technology progresses, people question whether or not there open up an infinite amount of doors leading to knowledge. Other people also argue that technology and smartphones have hindered the intellectual development of society.
I think it's great. I think students should have an opportunity to use technology as much as possible.
James Liver, a social studies teacher at Ellington High School, often allows his students to use their cell phones during class as he believes that it can be beneficial to a lesson or a useful tool for performing quick research.
If there's like a specific date or something that we're trying to find out, or a question that's asked, and I said, I don't know the exact date of that, or I don't know exactly, look it up, and I'll have somebody do that. So try to utilize it as much as possible.
In 2011, Ellington High School developed and put into action the Bring Your Own Device policy. This policy allows students and teachers at EHS to use their phones during school. The faculty of EHS believes smartphones and laptops can be very beneficial to the learning environment of students.
It allows for more research, especially, we don't necessarily always have enough Chromebooks or computer labs to go around, and sometimes you just need to look something up. If you do it on your phone, that's okay.
I think it's good. I think that students should be allowed to use technology in school so they have more access to more things.
Unfortunately, as with anything that is introduced to a new environment, the usage of smartphones has some clear disadvantages that are raising concerns among students and faculty.
I think it's kind of abused in our school, but I think that it's a good thing to have.
Obviously, I think the negative is the distraction, the peeking at the phone, the texting.
What's scary for teachers sometimes is when technology can be used for non-academic purposes, and kids are on Twitter as opposed to listening to, a presentation or something like that. So there's a fine line.
Whether or not the students decide to use the technology to their academic advantage is their call. It is evident that technology provides endless opportunities but can also provide endless distractions.
And now, here's Alicia Albee reporting from the Ellington Volunteer Ambulance Corps building.
I'm here in front of Ellington Volunteer Ambulance Corps, home of Ellington Rescue Post 512. This program, sponsored by Ellington Volunteer Ambulance Corps, offers high school students a unique experience and gives them the chance to help to save someone's life. Established in early 1962, Ellington Ambulance Corps is located in a building directly adjacent to the high school. This program is run by EMRs and EMTs consisting of Ellington High School students. These students train, become certified, and respond to emergency calls throughout the town. They use the same skills as EMTs, including performing CPR, using medical equipment such as a backboard, aiding in the use of an automatic chest compressor, and using an AED. These specially trained students are helping save lives townwide. These well-trained students allow for a quicker turnaround time for emergency response calls and offer many opportunities not only for the students but also for the community. This has been Alicia reporting.
Here are Macy Lugenbuehl and Maddie Unterstein once again to give us an exclusive first look at EHS Spring Sports.
The Ellington High School spring sports season began on March 23, 2015. The teams are now in full swing and ready to take on the competition. The EHS baseball team has high hopes for the season. Their main goals are to surpass their 13-7 record from last year and win both the NCCC and state tournaments. Coach Chalkus is most excited to see what his veteran pitching staff will be able to accomplish this season. The boys track team expects to be competitive and contend for the NCCC title this season and hopes to finish strong in the Class M championship meet. Coach Wamito is excited to see his tight-knit group of seniors compete this year. Andrew Aliwa, Thomas McIntosh, Jordan Dixon, Albie Tebbets, John Wang, Jeremy Bausch, and Ian Chandler are all believed to be standouts this season. The girls track team is hopeful for a successful season, but will be focusing on filling in the holes in their team to compete with their most competitive opponents, Avon and Suffield. The Knights are hopeful that their core group of veteran distance runners, Jenny Jackalone, Anna Chamberlain, Katie Lee will bring them to the top.
The boys and girls tennis teams both expect Avon to be their toughest competition, as they are year in and year out. However, with returning players Micah Fox, Kevin Sisko, Jerry Zhu, Christine Gowan, and Kat Sisko, Coach Willis is hopeful for a great season to take them to the state tournament. Boys lacrosse team expects to have a winning season this spring. Captain Brendan Doherty believes that the team is full of potential even though they have a very young team, as the Knights lost their entire starting defense this year. The girls lacrosse team hopes to improve their stick work and defense this season. Coach Boz's main goal for the season is to work together and give each team they play their best game, especially against Avon and Summers, who will be their hardest competition. The softball team will focus on growing and becoming stronger as a team under the leadership of captains Kelly Gorman, Nikki Foote, and Emily Green. They expect Suffield and Granby to be their toughest competition this season. Finally, the EHS golf team is expected to have a successful season as their core group of golfers are all returning this year. Coach Stiles expects juniors Jack Snyder and Alex Tarbach to be standouts this year. Overall, Ellington High School is extremely hopeful for success in all sports this season. As always, it's a great day to be a Knight.
Some big changes are taking place at Crystal Lake Elementary School as crews are working hard to complete a multi-year, multi-million-dollar renovation to accommodate for the growing student population. Marissa Cinsano has more on the story.
Crystal Lake School is under construction for this school year and will continue until the end of summer in 2016. This little 8-classroom school will have a total of 18 classrooms that will allow the school to teach grades K through 6. This renovation addition is going according to plan with only a few minor bumps in the road.
We did have some problems on the old boilers. We had a few issues. We ended up freezing up oil. We got that resolved, but other than that, everything's moving along. The weather is really causing a lot of havoc. That's what's kind of, I guess, slowing us up a little bit.
Currently, the cafeteria doubles as an art room, but with the renovation, there will be a dedicated art room and a brand new cafeteria. In addition, there will be a new library accompanied by a courtyard, several new offices, conference rooms, and 10 new classrooms with some containing bathrooms for younger grades. With all of these changes, the Board of Education now has to resolve the issue of where the current grade 4 will attend 6th grade. With how the schedule for construction is going, this 4th grade class will end up going to Windermere Intermediate School for 5th grade. The following school year, Crystal Lake will be able to hold 6th grade, but in that case, the students will have attended Crystal Lake, then Windermere, and then back to Crystal Lake. The Board of Education has to make the choice of either allowing these students to go back to Crystal Lake for 6th grade or stay at Windermere.
I would say, if I had to put a guess on it right now, I think so as not to be too disruptive. So students don't go to, say, Crystal Lake, go to Windermere, back to Crystal Lake, and then to the middle school. My thought process is that there will be 1 year of a standalone grade 6 over in Windermere.
Mr. Larkin, the principal of Crystal Lake School, believes that not much will change when it comes to the community of this school.
One of the really special things about Crystal Lake is that we have about 200 students. We're small. We have that that close-knit community feeling. After the project is done, we're going to be adding about 100 more students, so we'll be up to around 300 or so students, maybe a little bit more than that. I think we're going to have to work hard to retain that, actually, because it is a very special aspect of the school.
Mr. Cullinan, the superintendent for Ellington Schools, spoke on how the Crystal Lake School addition and renovation has created more benefits for the town than they originally had anticipated.
There's an additional benefit that was not planned, which may happen. When this project is done, Ellington will have space if they want to offer full-day kindergarten. It wasn't part of the initial plan. In the last, say, 3 to 5 years, full-day kindergarten has sort of exploded across the state of Connecticut. Ellington can't consider offering it because we don't have enough classrooms. The space just isn't there. Once the space is ready, then there's the issue of there are a lot of costs associated with it. Will the town be able to afford to expand? And it's a 1-year big increase. Will they be able to afford to do it? But the fact that the opportunity, the availability to do full-day kindergarten is a tremendous benefit for the town.
Mr. Welty, the chair of the Permanent Building Committee and also a parent of students who attend Crystal Lake School, believed it was time for the school to get the renovation it needed.
I think it still will be that small, close-knit school. They're increasing total kids up there by the 5th and 6th graders that are going to come up, but it will still have that small school feel. And the old part, so the 55 wing and the 78 addition, were in dire need of renovation. So it's the last school in town to be done. And I would say, especially that 55 wing, which is all the classrooms, it was time for a complete overhaul.
The expected completion of this renovation is by the end of the summer in 2016.
When Crystal Lake School's expansion is completed, all elementary schools will serve students from kindergarten to grade 6, eliminating the current intermediate school at Windermere.
Here is funny man Aaron Reynolds sharing his feelings about some of the controversial rules set on student attire here at EHS.
What's the problem with hats? Every day I wear a hood or a hat or a beanie, and every day I'm told to take it off. Why? Do you think I'm hiding something on the top of my head? Do you think I'm an unknown person trying to sneak into the school? Most of the time I wear a hat just because I like to have something on my head. Maybe I want something to hide my hair because it looks bad on that day, or because the school has no heat. Adam Savage said, I wear a hat all the time. It's part of me. It's who I am. It's me! He's a very dramatic person, but you do get the point. A staff member that asked the anonymous told me, I'll let hats slide, but when I do tell him to take it off, it's only because it's the school rule. Even a teacher does not care about the no hat rule. Even Mr. Rinaldi, the principal of Ellington High School, said, at a young age, when I was told to take off the hat in public places, I never understood why. So the rule has been around for a long time, and even those 2 adults don't know where it started or why they do it. They just do it because they're told to. Some of the reasons I have heard for enforcing the no hat policy is that it's a school rule. You could be hiding a weapon in there. It's disrespectful and it causes a distraction. There are giant holes in all these statements. If you can hide a gun in your hat, you can hide a gun anywhere. I've read a lot about school shootings, and almost all the guns are hidden either in their backpacks or their pants pockets. I've never read about a gunman hiding a gun in their hat. If hats cause that much of a distraction, then so does everything else, such as windows, pencils, papers, even other classmates. I can see that some, such as big foam hats, rainbow neon hats, even very tall top hats, may cause some type of distraction, but that's why the rule would only go for baseball hats, beanies, hoodies, or fedoras. When I was younger, I was told to respect my elders. But why? The thing about respect is that it's something earned, not given. So if you want your students to respect you, then you must earn it. Respect is something not everyone can handle. I would like to be asked rather than forced to take off my hat. The fact that it's a school rule is not a good enough argument. You're teaching young adults who want to express themselves in the way that they dress. My fix to the school rule is to have kids be able to wear their hats, and if it becomes a distraction, the teacher can ask them to take it off. I mean, it's just a hat. I should not walk into a classroom and take off my hat because the teacher tells me. I want to take it off because the teacher asked me.
This has been the 2014-2015 edition of Nightly News. We hope you enjoyed this inside look at Ellington High School. I'm Myra Anderson.
And I'm Gabby Stein. We'll see you next time, EHS.